Hey friend, it's Marissa, and welcome to the Camera Brave Show, the podcast where entrepreneurs uncover the power of storytelling. I teach entrepreneurs just like you how to take video and build their confidence on camera. In this show, I give you my best tips for framing your mindset, crafting your camera presence, and connecting deeper through video. I'm so excited to watch you grow. Let's dive right in. Hello, friend, and welcome back to another episode of the Camera Brave Show. My name's Marissa, your video marketing coach, teaching you how to take stunning videos and feel confident on camera. This is episode number 48, and today we are going to switch things up a little. I'm going to just speak from a situation that I'm currently in right now and directly talk to anyone who may be in a season of overwhelm. This is going to be a rather unconventional episode, and I'm just going to speak to you about some of the things that may be able to help you right now, some things to keep in mind, and things that I am constantly reminding myself as I am in this season currently. So we are going to start by taking a deep breath. This is something that I do before every video. This is something that resets your nervous system. It allows you to stop whatever you're doing, all of those rapidly racing thoughts, no matter where you are, if you're driving, if you're walking the dog, no matter what you're doing, just take this moment right here. Let's do some breath work. All right. There's a million different ways to do breath work. And I feel a little silly almost talking about this, sharing what I do, but I know that this is going to resonate with someone. I am in a very busy season currently, and that has prompted this episode right now. If you typically watch on YouTube, you'll notice that there is no video component of this. However, there is this audio component. I'm also trying to intentionally kind of keep my voice at this nice pitch here, so that way it's comforting to anyone who is seeking comfort right now. So let's go ahead and do some deep breaths. I do in through the nose and out through the mouth. I typically will count to 3, but whatever number works for you. And only do this if you can. If you have like vertigo or something and you cannot do deep breaths, please don't do this. But if this is a safe process for you and one that you're familiar with, then please join me. We're going to do some deep breaths. All right. So in through the nose and then out through the mouth. So we're going to do it one more time. In through the nose and out through the mouth. I try to keep my inhale and my exhale the same length of time and do a little pause in between. Now, there are other ways to do breath work. I've heard it where you can do, if you're going to do a 3-second inhale, then you can hold it for 3 seconds and then release it. There's, like the 1, 2, 3 sort of method where you inhale for maybe 3 beats, keep your breath for 4, and then exhale for 5 beats. This is one that I personally like. Some types of breath work will leave me out of breath, and that is not the point. The point is before a video, before speaking, before anything, having that time to reset in a way that works for you. So find a sort of breath work that works for you, a pattern that you enjoy, one that sets your pace, sets your tone, sets your mindset, and resets your nervous system. That is why I do 2 deep breaths, because I feel like 1 deep breath stops me and it makes me think, okay, it's time to pause. And then that 2nd deep breath actually lets me reset. That's the one where my brain is intentionally focusing. And to me, it's that 2nd one that makes the biggest difference. So no matter what you're doing, the next time that you do some content, try this and see how it works. If you're in a busy season, if you're in a season of overwhelm, then incorporate this as many times as you can. It will help. And I do just want to give some encouragement. So now that we've done some breath work, these busy seasons, if you're listening to this episode or this podcast, then most likely you're an entrepreneur. Maybe you are a small business owner. Maybe you are a solopreneur, if you identify with that word. I know there's kind of there are some mixed feelings about the word solopreneur, but if you are in business and maybe you are a 1-person team, it can get beyond hectic, especially when you start to see some success. I'm very very grateful for the success that I'm seeing in my business, but I am noticing that I am in a season, a prolonged season of overwhelm. I think when we're in shorter seasons of overwhelm, I'm typically able to burst through it and hustle, but I am not a fan of long-term hustle. I don't think that that's a way to operate. I know I am a type A person, so it does not take a lot for the overwhelm to sink in for me. So that's why I'm doing things very intentionally, like allowing myself to only do this episode as an audio version and allowing myself to just talk to you in a way that is very comforting for me. And it's like this whole process is just very relaxing for me. I hope that this is being well received by you. If you're enjoying it, please send me a message on Instagram and let me know, because this is definitely something I have never done before. But like overwhelm isn't a topic that's relatable to fellow entrepreneurs. And especially if you're in this season of, if you're in a season of success right now, or if you are the only one on your team, keep in mind that you have to be the one to set these boundaries. There is most likely no one in your life that is going to call you out and realize when it is too much, right? There's that line between I'm hustling, I'm doing okay, I'm nailing it, my schedule is full, my calendar is full, but I know I have time to recharge. And then there's that other side of that of you're making yourself sick, you're burning the candle at both ends, you're pushing yourself too far. And the honest to goodness truth is only you can identify that line. You are the only one who knows when you're crossing over to that dangerous level where you're not taking care of your body, where you're not taking care of your mind, where you're not taking care of your soul, you're not taking care of yourself in any way. It's almost like that hustle can turn to neglect real quick. Busy can turn to chaos real quick. And if you're in a season where you are truly that busy, the odds are that you are not expressing when that line has been crossed to those in your circle. So you have to be the one to look at your schedule, to look at your life, to look at your calendar and say, enough. I have to prioritize myself. This running to-do list is not going to stop. It's still going to be there. And as much as I feel compelled to run through this crazy checklist day in and day out, I know I have so many obligations. I have people that I have to connect with. I have people that are depending on me, but I can only do this for so long. I'm going to have to prioritize myself. I'm going to have to be selfish. This morning, I was beautifully selfish with myself. I have been in this very busy season for around 2 weeks of quite literally what feels like nonstop. And again, that may sound like nothing to you, but for me, I don't operate in a state of hustle well at all. So this morning, I was selfish and I meal prepped. That was my selfish act. Can anyone else relate to this? When you cross that line from busy to chaotic and from hustle to neglect, when you honestly can't remember what you've eaten this week, if it's just been a protein bar or maybe like a handful of blueberries here and there. It's not that you're not eating, but you are not fueling yourself. You are not fueling this body that you are pushing to the max at every capacity possible. So I had a selfish meal prep, made some hard-boiled eggs and some tuna. It was not fancy, but it was protein that has fueled me throughout the day so far. And then I went for a run. Well, a jog. Let's call it a jog. And don't be like, wow. No, I mean like under a mile. I mean, let's just call it what it was. I went and moved my body because I had gone in this busy season. I have neglected my workout as well. And I feel better when I work out. So I was feeling upset that I was not able to work out. And all that I had was that quick run. And then I came back and I stretched. And all of that in total was maybe 90 minutes. And yes, I had work. I had work to do. Absolutely. I intended to be camera ready for this podcast episode. I intended to record my training for my private coaching group today, but I instead took the time to take care of myself. And I want you to understand that you are the one who has to reprioritize taking care of yourself. There isn't someone who can do it for you. You have to be willing to make the call, and hopefully you can make it a little bit sooner than necessary, right? Like, make that call before your body is completely burnt. Make that call and take care of yourself before you've pushed yourself as far as possible. What is the point in operating a business and being in business for ourselves if we're going to neglect the business owner? This beautiful, masterful mind that created this business, the wonderful you that is showing up day in and day out, pioneering this problem-solving solution that you have created and that you have brought to your clients and to your customers. Who is going to take care of that entrepreneur? You can have people in your circle, people that love you, people that watch out for you, but you have to make that call. When is it too far? Have I neglected myself for too long? Because, friend, there's a time where that to-do list doesn't stop. I have not completed my to-do list for today, but you know what? I am so happy that I took care of myself. The level of gratitude I felt, the amount of refreshed that I felt after taking that time for myself was unparalleled by any level of work I could have done today. So if you are feeling this, if this is resonating with you in any way, shape, or form, then it may be that you're pushing just a little bit further than you should be. And that's okay. I'm not trying to judge anyone here. I hope you can tell that from my tone. I'm not trying to make you feel bad in any type of way, but to anyone who is in a season just like me. And it's so ironic because I'm in this season and I'm looking at everyone else. And isn't this how it goes, right? Looking at everyone else thinking, wow, they're just all getting ready to enjoy their summer. Everyone else is living the slow life. Everyone else is operating in this season of space. And I'm the one who's over here burning the candle at both ends and in this hustle mentality. Be nice to be where they're at, right? But that's just not the case. You truly never know what someone is going through. So if you are in this season of overwhelm, I really want to encourage you to do your breath work and to prioritize yourself. I was at a conference this weekend where the keynote speaker, Chris Rodriguez, she shared a quote with us. She is a very big advocate of working on yourself. And while her quote was not necessarily to someone in a season of overwhelm, I do think that there is a very deep resonation I found with it as someone who's in a season of overwhelm. So many of you probably know Grant Cardone. He has the book 10X, right? And it's about, seeing 10 times the growth in your business. Well, Chris said, if you want to 10X your business, you need to 20X yourself. Tony Robbins will say the same thing, that you need to work just as hard on yourself as you do on your business every day. If so many people that I look up to and so many mentors are saying this is the key to success, it's taking care of yourself, it's working on yourself, it's forcing the hours into your schedule to meal prep, to read, to go and have physical movement with your body so you feel better, so you don't feel like you're stuck at a desk. Think about these wildly successful people. They do not have more time in their schedule than we do. But if they can make time for it, if they can prioritize them growing themselves, then I have to be able to prioritize it as well. I have to be able to understand there is never going to be a time where I have more time in my schedule. There's never going to be a time where I don't feel this list of obligations, where I don't feel like I have a full week. There's never going to be a time where I can say, okay, finally, now I have it. Now I have the time. Now I have the space. It is our job as entrepreneurs to create that space intentionally. And it is not easy. It's not easy to stop your work, especially if you have any kind of like anxiety about overwhelm. I know I am a type A checklist sort of gal. So I get joy from crossing things off my checklist. So if I am pausing my checklist and working on myself, I'm not getting that joy of checking off my checklist. And I know it's not easy to do this, but if it were easy, everyone would do it, right? These are profound statements. Working on yourself just as hard as you work on your business, growing yourself 20 times so that you can grow your business to be 10 times as large as it is. I hope that this really resonated with you, friend. If you enjoyed this, would you please share it with a friend? Anyone who you think may be going through a busy season, anyone who may be a little overwhelmed, please share this with them. And please share it with yourself. Allow yourself to do the breath work, to put the time into your schedule. And if you enjoyed this very unconventional episode, please send me a message because I would love to know. As always, you can find me over at Camera Brave on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. I hope you have an amazing rest of your week, my friends, and I will see you next time on the Camera Brave Show. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Camera Brave Show. Make sure you subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to get notifications of new episodes every single week. I love bringing you practical confidence and mindset tips. If you love them too, one of the best ways to support this podcast is to leave us a review because it helps us grow the platform to bring you even more powerful stories. Plus, it makes me do a literal happy dance. I so appreciate you spending your time with me, friend. I'll see you next week.